I think it's the simplest way to come up with a product idea. I did it for my physical product, and now I do it for all of my digital products. It literally cannot fail. And that is, if you are going to find something and you cannot find it, it is your duty to create it.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Product Boss Podcast. I am Jacqueline Snyder. I'm your host, and I'm so excited because today I have a very special guest. We have Courtney Johnson. She is the host of Slay the Gatekeeper podcast and just an incredible human being. I cannot wait for you to learn more about her. And she's also a product boss, or maybe an ex-product boss now.
I'm an ex-product boss.
Ex-product boss. But so many good tips for how to come up with a product idea, how to work with influencers, how to build a personal brand. Because really, that's where Courtney has shifted into is personal brand building. And I'm just so excited for all the goodies you're going to share with the audience.
Yeah, I just applaud everybody listening because I left the product world because it's brutal. It's brutal. I'm like, how about things that I don't have to carry inventory? That's what I'm going to transition into. But I did love the product world when I was doing it. It's a hell of a journey.
Yeah. So welcome to the show, everyone. Okay. So Courtney, what product did you have?
Yeah, so I had a yoga mat company, and mind you, I was like 22 at the time. I had no money to actually create this. I totally bootstrapped it. We ended up being in Academy Sports and Tyler's, in Nordstrom's, in Bandeau. It was
What was it called?
It was called MYSOLMAT.
Okay, cool.
And I really want to impart this wisdom that I give people, and when they're coming up with a product idea. And I think it's the simplest way to come up with a product idea. I did it for my physical product, and now I do it for all of my digital products. And it literally cannot fail. And that is, if you are going to find something and you cannot find it, it is your duty to create it.
Ooh.
Like, the reason why I started my yoga mat company is I just couldn't find a cute yoga mat. Like, they were either really plain, they're just plain colors, or they were very like mandalas and very like spiritual iconography that I just like didn't resonate with at the time. And there was nothing in the middle. And I had probably spent months and months and months being like, I'm trying to find the perfect thing, the perfect product. And I ended up helping out doing videography for this yoga event in Dallas where we were doing some drone footage. There was 300 people. And I was looking at this drone footage of like 300 yoga mats, and they were all plain. So I'm like, all right, if I cannot find this, like, I guess I got to create it or it's not going to exist. And I feel like we always think of that, right? There's so many ideas where like, I can't find this. Where is it perfect? I'll just settle for getting this thing that's not as good. But we don't see this opportunity right in front of us.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. It's like if it's your obligation to the world to bring it forward. So it's like if you have a candle and you've just imagined the scent, you're like, God, I want a scent that like has a certain scent. It's your obligation, right? If you're like, oh, I wish I had a jewelry, a necklace that felt like this or had the stone or these earrings, it's your obligation to bring this to the world.
It's also like, what are you frustrated with? Like, are you frustrated because you're like, I'm a mom, and why the heck are there no candles that don't use this ingredient? Like, I cannot find any candles without this ingredient.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy just to be blind to that, thinking somebody else is going to do it, but that could be your amazing, perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I tell my students, find a need, want, desire, or solve a problem. And a lot of times people get confused because they might think, how does, creating a new yoga mat company solve a problem? But it's that idea of the gap. Like, there's a gap in the market that we all get to fill. And I think what people don't realize is there's enough room for all of us. There's only one of you. There's only one version of what you're going to create and bring it out to the world. But I think that's when it really gets to step forward and be authentic, like authentically you and what you create. So what was different about your mats?
What was different is that they were fun. Like, they were the in-between of people just testing out yoga. What was really cool is people would actually buy the yoga mat first because they loved, hearts or polka dots, or they loved flowers, they love stars, they love these like kind of fun, bright colors. And then that would actually make them start practicing yoga. And that's how I started practicing yoga. Like, I was in it because I wanted to be cute. Like I didn't really care about breathing or like connecting with my body. I was like, I just want to be like a hot yoga girl.
You're like, cute outfit, cute mat, let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was aware enough to know that vanity is what brought me into practicing yoga. And so I leaned into that vanity. I'm like, you actually don't even need to practice yoga, but this is going to look really cute in your apartment. And people would buy it with that messaging.
Yeah.
And then just like end up learning yoga or like, it's there, I might as well do it. And so I think a lot of times too, we think like my target audience has to be this expert. They have to have all this knowledge. They have to be in this perfect place. But actually like there's a lot of opportunity in that white space if somebody's not doing it. For example, skincare. Like you actually don't have to have the most knowledge about skincare. Your audience doesn't have to be ultra educated about skincare. Maybe the fact that they don't know and they don't really want to learn is an asset, and you can actually make it easy or fun or beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I tell people that too. I'm like, what do they want?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what do they want? So it's anti-aging, or, you know, a lot of times people will be like, well, it's vegan skincare. That's why people are going to buy it. But it's like, no, they want the vegan. The vegan part is going to make them choose yours and not someone else's, but they want to be, it's like anti-aging, or it repairs on a cellular level, or it's from high moisture, right? So it's really thinking about what the customer wants. And so you're saying, how do they feel in their space? How do they feel when doing it? I mean, that's why I think Lululemon, when they started, and Athleta, which was a version of Gap brands, or Alo Yoga, right? People are just like, I mean, you're in LA with me right now. You live in Austin, but in LA, we're like, let's just walk around in our cute athleisure wear.
Yeah.
And
we're
just
not going
go
to the
shopping,
gym.
right? We're not going to the gym. There's no gym here. And so that's the thing. It's like a lifestyle, and it's an identity, I think, really is what product creates for people.
Yeah. And I think like, I love cheat codes. My whole podcast is about cheat codes. And a cheat code I would really encourage everybody to do just in their daily life, like as a way to get that creativity going, is every time you identify something that you're looking for that you can't find, even if it's something you never create, even if like I was just looking for hotels and I couldn't find a hotel that I like make a list of it. Or a song. You're like, oh, I wish that this song had this beat, but the lyrics were more pointed. It was about motherhood instead of being about love or something. Like just start to bank all of those ideas, even things you would never do. And like that is just such a way to unlock that creativity around product.
Yeah, there's a show on Netflix. I keep trying to pull it up, but there's a whole episode on creativity, and they talk about Albert Einstein and how, if you think back to even in Egypt, when the heads of animals on human bodies, the idea of combining two different things together is what is the source of creativity. So what you're saying is, as you ideate, because I talk about the ideate stage, which is the very beginning, as you're coming up with the idea, how do you create something new? How do you create something with your own personal spin on it or brand? I have a student, shout out to Rachel, Falcone Farms, and she makes goat milk soap. A lot of people make goat's milk soap, but she has really fun, crass sayings on them. And she's been making thousands and thousands of dollars selling a product that other people make, but she has her own personal spin on it.
I love that, because what's making her different is probably something that she could have totally leaned out of. She could have been like, oh, sorry, I don't curse on camera. Oh, if they see me talking like this, like they're not going to want to buy from me. But actually, like these are the things that make us unique. And if she wasn't doing that, she would be like every other goat milk soap out there.
Yep.
She's like, this is the thing. And again, it doesn't have to be positive traits. Are you messy? Are you chaotic? Are you like throwing F-bombs? Are you like, I actually don't care? Whatever. Like that really, really resonates.
Yeah. Yeah. I had one student that was like, I'm a candle snob and I make candle snob scents. I'm like, great, lean into that, right? There's also a brand that we've helped, Bad Tags, if you look them up, and they do really crass dog tags. You'd love it. And it's like, you know, it's not for the faint of heart, but it just really leans in. But then there's also people who, I have a student of mine that made $400 matching pajama sets because they felt tailored, and she wanted to feel like she was tailored in her clothes. So it doesn't always have to be so extreme. It's just having a brand identity. So let's lean into personal brands.
Yes, personal brand.
Because that's what you're known for, right? Courtney Johnson, personal brands, they go together. So this concept of personal brands, we know it if you're operating as a creator, an influencer, but how do people start to incorporate that concept of a personal brand with their product brand? Hey, Product Boss, really quick, I have something really exciting to share with you. we are bringing back an encore round of Rock Your Holiday Promotions Challenge. Yep, that's right. And it's totally free. So if you missed it the first time, maybe life was busy or you weren't quite ready to start thinking about the holidays, this is your last chance to jump in, because over 8,000 product-based business owners joined us the last time and the results were incredible. The breakthroughs were huge. They got clarity, momentum, and real strategies that they could use immediately. And they're already seeing growth going into the holiday season. So that's why we're doing it again, starting October 13th. So you can head into Q4 with confidence and a plan that actually works. Here's what's inside. You get 5 days of live workshops with me where I'll teach you exactly how to plan, what to promote, and how to profit this holiday season. You're also going to get step-by-step strategy and growth tools so you can implement them right away. I'm also including a workbook that's going to walk you through every single step. Now, some of you are going to sign up for the VIP coaching, and in that, you're going to get all of these bonuses, AI help, and getting actual feedback from me every single day so you can ask questions, get feedback, and build a real plan for your business. So listen, this is not just another free thing that you sign up for and forget about. The value inside of this is well worth over $1,000, and I'm teaching it for free because I know what's possible when you show up for yourself and for your vision. So I want you to treat it like you paid for it. Put it in your calendar and commit to building the kind of business that thrives through the holidays, not one that just hopes for sales. All you have to do is head to rockyourholidaypromotions.com or click in the link in the show notes to join us. 5 days, 5 workshops, one powerful plan to make this your best Q4 yet.
Yeah, I mean, people buy from people, not brands, until the brand creates its own identity. And especially when you're starting out, that brand has nothing to attach to. Like, nobody's going to automatically care about your personal, or no one's automatically going to care about your company brand. Like, truly, nobody cares unless you give them a reason to care. And it's really, really hard since a brand is a non-human entity. It just takes a lot of time and repetition and association for us to really feel an emotional connection with a non-human entity. It's possible. It just takes time. Like, no one's going to immediately emotionally connect to your brand on day one unless you're like a crazy outlier. How you can speed up the process is by integrating your own personal brand. So who are you? What is your story? Why are you doing this? And the thing that this does is it really assigns emotion to your brand that your audience is going to resonate with, and it connects you to your audience immediately. So what this actually looks like is founder stories, is behind the scenes, is building in public, like working with your audience, even being like, yo, what color should this be? What packaging should we choose? Should we do X or Y? Even if you don't even use any feedback your audience says, like making them really feel involved in the story and in the creation is going to hook them in and just really establish like an emotional baseline from the get-go that would be so much harder to do if you didn't show your face.
Yeah, agreed. So questions, because a lot of people are like, but I just don't want to create content. And I have a program called the Product Boss Sales Accelerator where I teach that social media can be used as a tool, but it doesn't have to be your entire strategy, because leaning on the entire strategy really puts a lot of pressure on people who are like, this is not my world. For people who want to go in on social, because you also have the content club and there's all sorts of ways that you help people from a social perspective, what do you think would be a really good way to kick off to start to get people to follow them, like outside of their friends and family?
Yeah, I mean, the best way I think is just really sharing the problem that you're solving. Like, but sharing your own personal example. And I think a lot of times we think like, okay, I need to get on the camera and it has to be perfect and I have to read my lines. It has to be blah, 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 blah. But truly just like sharing your story and why you're doing what you're doing. And if you're like, I don't even want to open social media, what I recommend is just like having a conversation with a friend, doing a webinar, going on a podcast, like getting some sort of media and just clipping that. I know so many people with product businesses that do not even open their social media. It's completely delegated. You just really do need to find another avenue. Maybe again, you're speaking at an event, you're talking at a retreat, some sort of way to capture your story and then put that off to your VA to actually send out into the world.
Yeah. So I talk about other people's audiences.
Yeah.
So there's the way to generate your own audience. You could build it on social media. You could build your email list and drive it to your own website. And then the other idea is other people's audiences through influencers or creators, through retail shelves, right? Being in a store and people discovering you at that shop on Amazon. in-person markets, right? Being at a market or a trade show. So how did you get into the retail shops? Like what was your way of getting in front of other people's audiences without just relying on social media?
I was just really creepy, and the influencers that I worked with, like I would work with some college girl with like 400 followers because I knew her aunt was like a buyer at a store.
Smart.
I would deep stalk on LinkedIn every single buyer, every single decision maker. I also really went the hotel route, like getting stalked in hotel gift shops and like hotel yoga mats in their spa. And again, that was all through stalking the people on LinkedIn and finding the influencers that were in the circle of that buyer or of that decision maker. With the hotels, it wasn't always a buyer. Sometimes it was like a spa director, but you got a lot of information on the internet for free, and you can like map those social circles and tap into them.
Yeah, I actually know someone who got Jessica Alba to have her product because she reached out to Jessica Alba's hairstylist.
Yes. Also, yeah, reach out to the celebrities, makeup artists, the hairstylist, like everybody that's auxiliary and their chef, everyone auxiliary in their circle.
Yeah, stalker central. I always talk about my stalker email address. So I have an email address that I'll opt into people's, opt in to see what their discounts are or get their emails, right? So be a stalker.
Yeah.
So being a stalker in a very healthy, legal sort of way, what you're saying, and also you are also a LinkedIn expert. And that's what I'll tell people when they're looking for buyers, especially bigger buyers. Like if it's at Nordstrom's or bigger brands, they can find them on LinkedIn. Would you directly message them? Would you send them an email? Like what would your connection points be if you were teaching someone now in like 2025 how to do it?
I would first, if you want to give out samples or work with influencers, definitely get people in their area. Like, for example, Neiman Marcus out of Dallas, like I knew that they were in certain social circles around like the Dallas Country Club, and I wanted to send the influencers that they followed. So you can figure out and like infer what circles they're a part of. And also, you want to reach out to them directly. LinkedIn is the best place because they're getting a ton of emails. They're getting a ton of phone calls. Not a lot of people get cold outreach on LinkedIn, especially not voice or video messages. So if you find a buyer on LinkedIn, which is very, very easy, or even like an assistant buyer that you know works with them, send them a voice memo on LinkedIn or send them a video message. Have you ever received a voice memo or a video message on LinkedIn?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Most people don't even know the feature exists. And you know how on your phone, it'll tell you like, it'll read the text of what someone said on voice. It doesn't do that on LinkedIn. So the curiosity is really high. And
like, what's this video?
Exactly. And the open rates are super, super high.
Ooh.
So I would just go and spam a bunch of buyers on LinkedIn.
This is the cheat code. Oh my goodness. Because I think I've asked you in the past about LinkedIn for my product, for product bosses. And we were talking about, would it be worth it for them to continuously post weekly on there because you also teach about LinkedIn. But I love this sort of back end connection way. And then what you're talking about is disrupting a normal way of being. So instead of just sending the email or sending the land sheet via email, instead they're slipping it like it's like, slipping into the DMs, but on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super sneaky.
Sliding is what they said.
Sliding into the DMs. Yeah. I think having a strong LinkedIn page is really, really great because what that does is it positions you as being like a real business person rather than just like, because even if you're just starting out, even if you're still packing your own orders, you want to seem as though you have a whole team. You want to seem as though you're more established. And I know you could definitely argue that sometimes like the underdog story, the I just started story can really help. However, like once you're working with retail and doing wholesale, you want to seem more established than you are. And having a really strong LinkedIn page that like positions you as a business expert, or if you have a wellness brand, a wellness expert or a beauty expert or whatever can be really, really effective because it just like brings like PR wise, it brings another deeper layer to your personal brand.
Ooh, so good. Yeah. I feel like me being in the space of being an entrepreneur for the last 20 years and not really needing LinkedIn, I didn't fully build out my LinkedIn, but I know you have such a good modern take on it and a way to be in connection with other people that I love. I love your spin and all the tips. I mean, listen to Courtney, because if you want to know how to do LinkedIn, I mean, Courtney is the person. And then this is just such a good morsel. It's so good.
I mean, just like a simple optimize your profile. Like most people don't even do that.
Yeah.
And think about how people use LinkedIn. Like if you're a wholesale buyer, if you're the people that we're trying to get in front of, they're at their computer most of the day. Of course, sometimes they're traveling, whatever. They're at their computer most of the day. 4 o'clock comes around. They want to seem like they're working, but they're not really working. So they're on LinkedIn, right? Have you ever had a corporate job?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially end of day. I was in Miami and they would bring us like little cafecitas, they called it. Like, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even get through the day. And I'm going to pretend I'm working.
Yeah, exactly. You're pretending you're working. You're on LinkedIn. So they are spending time on there.
Yeah. Okay. So LinkedIn profile, upgrading it, knowing that people are bored on the internet and, they're looking like they're working in, especially for corporate buyers, I think is so important. So if you're going to reach out to bigger brands or you can find the buyer through LinkedIn, great idea. The concept of personal brand. So showing your face, telling your story, having people connect heart-centered to it. Any other tips you want to give product bosses that you're like, oof, I wish I could have known this back then when I was doing this?
Totally. Gifting, but gift the unexpected influencer. If you have a beauty product, the beauty influencers are already getting lip glosses every single day, and they're already posting about 500 lip glosses. But if you send the lip gloss to the fitness influencer who has never posted about a lip gloss ever, and that fitness influencer, like, they love to get it, they want to post it on their stories, they want to post about it. I think a mistake people make is only staying within their own niche, right? Rather, or even like, if you have a baby brand, maybe instead of just sending gifting to the mommy bloggers, send gifting to the entrepreneur mom who happens to have a baby and you know that, but she doesn't post about it often. There's so much higher trust and a higher likelihood that they are going to post organically about your product if they really like it. It's just a faster way to get more reach and more trust quicker.
What's a trigger for you when people post or they send you product or they want you to post something? Like, what are your like, please don't do this. Please don't send me this message versus please send me this because I will then post it.
If they have a clear ask that's not a demand, I'm a lot more likely to post it. Sometimes people just send me things. I open the box. I don't know who it's from. There's no message. I'm like, okay, is this a gift from a friend? Is this a brand? Like, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
If there's a personalized message where there's a nice ask, like, hey, we're so excited for you to burn this candle. And, if you love it, would love for you to share. I'm a lot more likely to share. And I think a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to ask. I don't want to whatever. So they don't say anything. So I would say a personalized message, tie that personalized message into what you do. So I get a lot of gifting from brands that know I talk about business. And so they often tie it into productivity somehow. And I think that's really cool. And then make a clear ask. And if you can create this message and tie it back into your mission, I'm also a lot more likely to post it. So if you're like, hey, we created this candle and I know that you love to burn candles whenever you work. So we know you're going to love it. Would love for you to post about this. Our mission is like to inspire more women or something.
Yeah.
It's going to happen more. So don't just send with no message and no ask. Make sure to integrate that.
Oh my goodness. And you're all about cheat codes over on your podcast. And so cheat codes here, so many goodies. Love this. So how can people follow you, listen to you, all the things?
Yeah, just Google Courtney Johnson, social media, and all of my stuff will come up. And my podcast is Slay the Gatekeeper.
Slay the Gatekeeper. We'll put all the notes or all the links in the show notes. And Courtney, you're just absolutely incredible. Like so many goodies in this episode. Make sure to DM Courtney over on Instagram or on TikTok and just let her know how incredible she's been on this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.